Ladies and gentlemen, there was a fucking threat in my house this morning.
Is it my bung eye? It's getting itchy now.
Are you 100% certain that it was a mosquito?
Yeah, because
Okay.
it's not like in my eye, so it's not a sty.
No, because I was telling Dad about it in the car on the way here,
Yeah.
and Dad was like, what if it was a spider?
No, there's no bite marks.
Okay. Anyway, back to my threat. I got up this morning and I'd gone down the hallway, got things off the clothes horse, had been down there for a few bits and pieces, completely got ready, went to go back down my hallway to go play outside with Benji before I had to leave. As I'm walking down the hallway, I didn't even fucking see it, and my whole body went into fight or flight mode. And I look up and there is a huntsman the size of like a bread roll plate.
And like for context, Caitlin is like arachnophobic.
No, like I have
like genuinely arachnophobic.
like a crippling fear of spiders. And living out of home, I've gotten a little bit better with like smaller spiders.
Yeah.
Like I hate them, but I'm okay enough to like spray them, get the fuck out of there. This was huge. My whole body like jolted, and I immediately retreated down the hallway. And Benji's getting mad at me because I'm not going down. He's like, why the fuck are you not coming down the hallway? My housemate is asleep, so I'm trying not to make noise. And I'm like hyperventilating in the hallway.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't not go down there. I have to go down there. I managed to build up the courage to Usain Bolt it down my hallway. So I did that. And then I'm like, I have to spray this spider, because if I don't, this spider is going to tuck itself into my bed, and I'm going to go to get into bed and I'm going to die.
You know what I hate? When you spray spiders and they just start sprinting for their life.
See, I genuinely believe if spiders were as slow as turtles, I wouldn't have a fear of them.
They can move.
It's the fucking speed of it.
And they know when you're looking too. You'll clock it and you'll be like, okay, fuck. And you'll look away for a bit and then you'll look back and they're gone and you're like,
yeah, like
where did you go?
You don't need to move at those.
No.
Like, stop.
What are we running away from, Dal?
So then I go get my like spider spray, and I'm trying to spray it, but I'm like 18 kilometers away because I'm so fucking terrified. It's so big. I actually have goosebumps. Like it makes me feel sick to my stomach. I managed to get the courage. I start spraying it. It jumps down the wall.
Oh,
jumps down the wall.
I hate that.
And because I can't make noise because I'm literally right out the front of my housemate's bedroom. I took a video of it. All you hear is me go, ah! Anyway, it falls out. I actually am having like a physical reaction to it right now. I'm like trying to spray it, but I feel like I didn't get close enough. It's running into my housemate's bathroom. I'm like still spraying it. It ended up running under his toilet room door.
Oh, that's his problem.
I'm like, I'm not opening the door.
No.
That's like in an action or horror movie, and like the person goes outside to find the killer. It's not happening. I will die.
Yeah.
So I stood there and I sprayed the like crack of his door for like 5 minutes straight.
Good call.
And I went,
my deed is done.
My deed is done. I wish you the best.
Yeah.
But I can't. I can't.
That's not on my journey.
That truly has ruined my day. My whole day is ruined, everyone.
That'll do it.
I would rather die than come across a spider. I can't do it.
Yeah. I remember one time we went to the zoo in Sydney and there was like the dark bit and you were like, there better not be spiders here. And then we turned the corner and it's just literally display unit on display unit of spiders, and you literally just started crying.
It was like a fucking spider festival.
And I was like, no, it's fine. We can go backwards. It's fine. You're like sprinting past the crocodile.
I just can't. I've definitely gotten a little bit better over the years, but nah, it fucks me up, dude.
Yeah, fair.
It fucks me up.
Fair.
But anyway, what else is happening? How was your week?
It was long.
Dude, but we're so close.
Yeah, it was busy. I'm knackered.
We're so close to the end.
I've had to make a lot of life choices this week. And by a lot, I mean one.
But it's a big life choice.
Yeah. Yeah. But here we are. One more week, baby, until holidays. And I'm excited.
I'm very excited.
It's going to be books, beach, and bed.
and Sims.
Yeah.
I love Sims. Let's talk about Sims for a second. I'm so glad everyone asked. So I spent last night collating all of my favorite people that I've made in Sims and all my favorite builds and put them into the one save file, which is a big deal because I want to like really nurture this one save file and like make it a whole bustling. I want everyone to be integrated with one another in it. And then I've also downloaded, someone had made Luigi Mangione. So I've downloaded Luigi and placed him in my like New York world. What do they call it? Like Sand Machine or whatever. And I'm excited to make him a serial killer in my game. I just feel like this summer holidays, this is the day, right? We start with like a beach walk or Pilates, and then we go get a cough and acai, and then like beach day down at Second Valley, whatever it is, and then at night time, shower, laying under my hopefully fixed fucking air conditioner.
Period.
And then I'm playing Sims and watching TV, and then I read for a little bit and go to sleep. And I'm going to do that for 3 weeks straight.
I love that.
Yeah. Don't call me, don't text me because I'm busy. I am busy building shit. So yeah. What are you most excited about?
Not working.
Facts.
Having a whole day times 14 to just do whatever I want. Whatever I want.
I can't wait to go to Second Valley.
Yeah, like I want to have fun, but I want it to also be low key. Like I want to be able to enjoy my day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I reckon we do like a couple of Second Valley trips. Right? But then for the most part, we just like hang around Brighton.
Yeah.
Maybe go down to like, not Aldinga. Port Noarlunga. Yeah. Port Noarlunga, those ones. And we just vibe. That's what we should do.
Agree. Here.
I think we should get into knitting.
Okay.
I feel like that could be our next hobby.
I know how to knit.
Sewing really didn't hit the mark.
I mean, I genuinely think it's because of the fabric that I picked. Like, I'm going to start your shorts this weekend.
Okay.
And I am going to cut the pattern. I've decided.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it might be easier with like a more non-stretchy fabric. But I want to make more things. Like I want to make like makeup bags.
Yeah.
Like cute little quilted ones. And that's as far as I've got so far.
I feel like it just takes practice.
Yeah.
Maybe that can be a summer holiday hobby.
I just need to like this is my thing with hobbies is I'm very impatient and I want things done now. If it's a hobby where I have to dedicate like an entire day to it, that just doesn't suit me.
I'm the same.
Like having a whole day wasted on this one thing and it turn out like fucking shit.
And I'm not perfect at it.
Yeah, the first go, day ruined, weekend ruined.
Yeah.
But I think I just need to spread it out more. So like one day I'll cut the pattern and then cut the pattern fabric, do a stitch, press the stitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rather than cram it all into one afternoon.
Yeah. It's like Sims. Sims is a long haul. And so I'll build the house one day.
Yeah.
And you got to sleep on it.
Yeah.
Right? And then the next day you like make your tweaks and then you start furnishing it. And then the day after that you're doing like your landscaping. You've got to do it in bits. Otherwise it's not as good.
Yeah, exactly. And like I really enjoy a hobby where it's fun and it's quick.
Yeah.
Yet to find one.
I was going to say, what ones are they?
Yet to find one. I feel like clay would be not too bad.
I really want to make mugs.
I want to make magnets.
Yes. I want to make magnets
Fun
and
little
mugs.
Magnets. Yeah.
That would be fun. Or like I would love to make a little trinket tray.
Yes. I want to get crafty this summer. I think.
We need to figure out how to do that. So in my Sims world, I've already made you and I in it. And in it, you're a painter.
Right. Interesting.
But what I might do is I might make a second you. And the second you lives in a little cottage in like a forest kind of There's
Love.
like ocean nearby, but you're in a
Yes,
forest.
love.
Right. And I think Windenburg is going to be where you live, which is where my Craig Conover character lives.
Okay.
And I'm going to make you his neighbor.
Okay. Okay.
Anyways.
We can make cushions together.
Yes. And so in it, and then I'm going to make you like really artsy where I need to buy the knitting pack so that you can, because you can't, I don't think there's a sewing thing in Sims. I might have to get like a mod for it, but I'm going to make you knit and you're going to do like arts and crafts and you're going to paint.
Crafty as fuck.
And you're going to live in this cute little cottage.
With all my arts and crafts.
Yes. And there'll be no mosquitoes if that makes you feel any better.
I was going to say, can you get a mod to get rid of the mosquitoes?
Yeah,
that would be rife in the forest.
There will be no
I
mosquitoes.
fucking hate mosquitoes. What is the point of them?
I mean,
Eat something else. Like, why do you need my blood? That's so fucking weird.
I thought they were only where water is. I don't see any fucking water near your house.
Like, and they always find their way to my bedroom.
Yeah, okay.
I need to get like one of those plug-in, like, I don't know if it's a thing, like mosquito repellent things that just like automatically sprays or like smells like bad to mosquitoes. That's not a thing. That's going to be my next art and craft.
You can get like a mosquito trap lamp. That looks kind of vibey.
I don't want the bodies though. I don't want to have to deal with emptying the bodies.
Fair. Mortine seemed to do like a power guard situation. I don't know how that works. I need that. I need something that's going to... If someone invented a tool that would promise me that I would never have a fucking spider in my house ever again, all my money. You get all my... Like, credit card down. You get every cent to my name.
Yeah, I need like this, like Mortine Peaceful Nights plug-in.
Yeah. Period.
Yeah, give that up to 30 nights protection. Excellent.
Love that. You only need it for summer as well.
Odorless, Mozzie Zapper.
Love.
How does it work?
Only one way to find out.
Continuous protection from mosquitoes. Yeah, I need that. Give that to me.
Let's jump right into it.
Yeah, we've got lots to cover.
There's so much pop culture news this week, everyone. And I'm going to start on a low because then it's all up from here.
Mm-hmm.
So this week in the news, it came out that Jay-Z is being accused of raping a 13-year-old girl with Diddy in 2000. So...
Oh, yeah, trigger warning. It's going to be gross stuff for this bit. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point. It's a very fair point. So when this came out, honestly, in my eyes, it was only a matter of time before Jay-Z got dragged into the P. Diddy drama.
Yeah.
Because they'd been so close. So essentially...
And real suspicious that him and Beyonce have like barely been seen since the Diddy stuff went down.
Well, they traditionally, like, they never fucking go out anywhere. And then this comes out and they're at the Mufasa thing. They're making a point of being on the red carpet. Like, Jay-Z's all up in everyone's business now. So there's a civil lawsuit that's been put against Jay-Z. Well, it actually initially got filed in October and it was only against Diddy. But then it got refiled in New York this week, adding Jay-Z to the list of defendants. And essentially, it alleges that this girl went to the VMAs in New York City without a ticket, hoping that she'd get inside, but was instead invited to an after party by a limo driver who claimed to work for P. Diddy. The limo driver allegedly drove her to the party where she was told to sign something that she believes was an NDA. And so she's in there. She's like trying to talk to all these celebrities. She ends up accepting a drink from one of the waitresses circling the crowd. And then in the lawsuit, she claims that she began to feel woozy and lightheaded after drinking a portion of the drink. Went to find a place to lie down. She went into a room that had a bed in it. That's random. And then
What do you mean?
Like, I think because in my head reading this, I'm picturing the party at a club, even though the lawsuit doesn't say that it's in a club. And so I'm like, why would
are there beds?
Why would a man be there?
They're in a house, yeah.
Yeah. After lying down, P. Diddy and Jay-Z and an unnamed female celebrity whom the alleged victim recognized entered the room. The lawsuit then alleges that Jay-Z held her down and raped her while P. Diddy and the female celebrity watched. Afterwards, P. Diddy then raped her while Jay-Z and the female watched. And then P. Diddy then attempted to force the girl to perform oral sex on him, but she managed to punch him, grab her clothes, wrap them around her, and run away. So...
God, that's horrible.
And then, like, it talks about how after leaving the house, she, you know, managed to run to a gas station, and where a clerk noticed her distress and allowed her to use the phone. So she's seeking unspecified damages. So this all came out, and then Jay-Z published a statement in response to it where he said, my lawyer received a blackmail attempt called a demand letter from a lawyer named Tony Busby. What he had calculated was the nature of these allegations and the public scrutiny would make me want to settle. No, sir, it had the opposite effect. It made me want to expose you for the fraud you are in a very public fashion. So no, I will not give you one red penny. Only your network of conspiracy theorists, fake physics, will believe the idiotic claims you have levied against me that, if not for the seriousness surrounding harm to kids, would be laughable. For the avoidance... Oh... No, then it goes on to, in a letter sent Monday to the judge overseeing the case, an attorney for Jay-Z wrote, For the avoidance of doubt, Mr. Carter is entirely innocent. This is a shakedown. He is not mentioned, referenced, or implicated in any way in the criminal investigation of P. Diddy. He is neither a target nor a person of interest in that investigation. So essentially Jay-Z came out and was like, if this is legit, get her to come forward and put her name to it, and B, make this a criminal lawsuit, not a civil lawsuit. And at first I was like, he has a point. Why is this a civil suit and not a criminal suit? But then someone was telling me that you would take a civil suit route if the evidence isn't as strong kind of thing. So it doesn't mean that it didn't happen. It just means that, like, maybe they don't have enough evidence for it to stand up in a criminal lawsuit. And then Forbes, I think it was, came out and completely ripped apart Jay-Z's statement, pulling out all the, like, PR angles of it, the way that he, like, makes himself look like a victim because he's like, you know, I'm just a young guy, like a young boy from Brooklyn, like we would never do that kind of thing. The way that he makes us some kind of mention in his statement about, you know, how victims of sexual assault, like how his heart goes out to them, something along those lines, but it's referencing other victims and not this victim, as if immediately dismissing this person's claims. The whole calling it for a criminal lawsuit versus a civil lawsuit is a way to, like, deflect. And essentially Forbes was like, this is all just PR jargon kind of thing. Like, it's all a tactic. So it's pretty nuts. And now all the press has been around Jay-Z. But like I said, it was only a matter of time. And I reckon there's going to be more people that this happens to.
Definitely.
So who knows? We'll see what happens. But there's been no further updates on the P. Diddy case. I don't think there will be for ages. I think this shit takes forever. So... yeah, but like I said, I reckon we'll see. There's so many celebrities that I think will end up being dragged into this, but I don't want to say who, because I don't want to, like...
go to jail.
Yeah.
Get sued.
I'm not born for jail. Oh my God, Morgan Wallen's going to prison for 7 days.
Why?
Because remember when he threw the chair?
Yeah.
So he went to court for it,
Yeah.
and he got he pled guilty.
Yeah.
And then part of the sentencing was that he has to spend 7 days in, like, a DUI jail thing.
Yeah, right.
How nuts is that? Imagine just going to prison for, not prison, but going to jail for 7 days. What a waste of time.
A little stint.
Little
stint in the slammer.
Yeah. A more positive note, though. Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco are engaged.
Bless,
but, like...
their engagement photo was cute.
It is cute. It's just so quick. I just cannot imagine
How
getting
long have they been dating?
Like a year.
Oh.
I just can't imagine getting engaged to someone that I've been dating for less than...
I just can't imagine getting engaged.
Yeah, to be fair. She does seem happy. And then the internet fucking blew up because Hailey Bieber liked the post.
Yeah. Fucking the sigh of relief.
Yeah.
Hailey Bieber would have sighed.
Yeah, she's like, finally.
Thank the heavens above.
Yes. I don't know. Part of me doesn't think that they're going to make it to the wedding. I don't know.
No?
I don't
Is that
know.
a hot take?
Yeah, it just all moves so quickly.
No, I reckon they're like proper, like into one another.
Really?
Mm.
Damn, that just shocks me.
Mm.
I mean, someone's gonna marry him.
You are a cinema.
What's that got to do with it?
That's his song.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
You are...
Is it not? Imagine if I just made that up.
It's not, dude.
Who is it then?
Benny Benassi.
Oh, that was close. That was close. What does Benny Blanco do then?
He's like... Does he even have his own songs? Or is it all just with others? So he was on like Lonely. He was on East Side. What else was he on?
Is he more like a beat guy?
Yeah, kind of thing. Like he's an American...
Like a DJ Khaled type of situation.
Yeah. He's like a record producer and songwriter.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen him actually perform something.
Okay.
Oh my God, these are songs...
I was mistaken.
He's actually a pretty good songwriter. These are songs that he's written.
That's funny.
Right?
Yeah.
He wrote Animals by Maroon 5. Ashley, like the Halsey song.
Yeah.
What else has he got? Beautiful Goodbye by... It's a Maroon 5 song. Blah, 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 Kesha.
Iconic.
He's done heaps of Kesha songs. Caught in the Middle, Charlie XCX. Cheated, Mike Posner. Diamonds, Rihanna.
Ah.
Dive, Ed Sheeran. Don't by Ed Sheeran.
Ah.
He's done some 303 stuff. Does a lot of Halsey stuff.
There you go.
He's done a Keith Urban song.
Random.
So yeah, dude's talented.
There you go.
More pop culture. Like I was not kidding when I said there was so much pop culture. So Brianna LaPaglia. Brianna Chickenfry is fucking back at it again. And you know what? I have tried really hard to be empathetic and see it from both sides because I really, to my heart of hearts, I feel like in 2, 5, 10 years, whatever it is, Brie will look back and go and be able to acknowledge that she fucked up, right? She'll be able to, like, part of me really hopes that that's the case, right?
She's coming off a bit narcissistic now, though.
It's gone too far. I can't like tiptoe around it anymore. Enough is enough. So during the week, people started posting in the fucking Brianna Chicken Fry Snark Reddit thread that she'd been responding to DMs that people had been sending her on Instagram where people were like clearly defending Grace. And she was replying, saying things like, you have no idea, Grace is an evil person, like she's the fucking worst. You know, if you think defending Grace and not me is going to make Zach want to hook up with you, like you're delusional. Or that, it was just mind-boggling because she, in these DMs, is like, I will never speak badly about Grace publicly. But she's saying this in DMs to just complete strangers, thinking that they're not going to post anything. She knew that they were going to fucking post this shit. Like, she had to have, right? So she's full just slandering Grace in all these DMs. And then someone had posted in the Reddit thread saying that Grace had mentioned at one of her comedy shows this week that Brie was coming out with a tell-all about their friendship. And lo and behold, the next day, the BFFs episode that came out on Thursday, so Friday Australian time, the whole last quarter of it was just Brie ripping into Grace. So, and then coincidentally, her episode of where Brie was interviewed on Alix Earle's Hot Mess came out the same day pretty much, where she was talking about her relationship with Zach. And it's just so funny, the fucking contradictions between it. So in the episode of BFFs, she was saying that essentially Grace didn't support her relationship, and she could kind of understand why she didn't support the relationship, but she was like, you know, she just went too far with it. She was like, when I moved to New York, I brought Grace with me. I brought her to Barstool. I got her a job at Barstool. I let her live with me for periods of time. In every relationship that I've been in, Grace was like heavily involved, like as a third wheel, like, and you know, maybe she didn't react to me and Zach well because she's never had a boyfriend before, and you know, she wouldn't defend me online when people were talking smack about me, and I would ask her about it and she was like, oh well, it doesn't matter, like it's not, like what they're saying isn't true. And Brie was like, she never fucking defended me once. But the way she went about it, like even Dave Portnoy was like, Grace is hurt. Like Grace was clearly hurt. And Brie was like, yeah, but I'm hurt too. I'm hurt too. And then the way that she went about the interview, like the fact that she was holding it against Grace, she's like, I brought her out to New York. I got her a job at Barstool. And then in the Hot Mess interview, she was like, yeah, Zach would hold things over my head. He would do these kind gestures and then hold it against me for the entire relationship. And she's doing exactly that to Grace on a public forum. She talks about how Zach only really supported her when she was down, yet she did the exact same to Grace. Ever since Grace's comedy career started taking off, she's been silent about it. Yeah. She said that Zach tried to draw isolation between her and her friends, yet took the whole Plan Brie cast to Vancouver this week to see Taylor Swift, and they just happened to all unfollow Grace at the same time. It did coincide with Grace posting her stories addressing the fact that she felt blindsided about the Plan Brie about Brie posting about Plan Brie potentially coming back. Yeah. But still, like, that's a shitty thing to do. You can just imagine them all in a room and Brie's like in their ear being like, Grace is a fucking snake, unfollow her kind of thing. Anyway, but Brie, I think everyone's kind of had enough.
It just seems very narcissistic of her, and it comes across like as if Brie doesn't like to have her friends more famous than her and hates to see her friends succeed or succeed more than what she is.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I hate that. And like, she could have just stayed silent, dealt with the Grace thing herself, like if there was no ulterior motive, but just the timing of it and the fact that she's coming out with all of this stuff and like saying all of this now that the Zach Bryan stuff has kind of died down and everyone's kind of like not talking about her anymore. No, don't like that. Do not like that.
It's just like, even regardless of all of this, I don't think she needed to go on to any public platform and air all of their dirty laundry. Yes, I totally get that people online and all their fans are demanding answers and shit. All she had to do was go in there and go, I understand that everyone wants to hear about it. We're not talking about it. Yeah. End of story. Like, you are allowed to say no.
Or like, at the end of the day, I was in a relationship with a piece of shit person that drove a dagger in between our relationship. We're both hurt. We're both trying to heal.
Yeah.
Once we're both in a position where we can come together and talk about it together, that's when you'll get the story.
Yeah.
But until then, it has to stay between us.
The way that she could at no point acknowledge the fact that like Grace was hurt. She couldn't see it from Grace's side at all. It was all, the whole podcast was very me. Like, yeah. I'm a victim. How dare Grace? Essentially, she kind of positions it as if Grace should just be this little lackey that dedicates her whole life to Brie, drops everything for Brie, but then just puts up with it when Brie pushes her to the side because Brie discovers a new man or a new friend or whatever that is. And Grace not saying anything, I hope she continues to not say anything, because it's kind of working in her favor, because Brie now is like just putting her her foot in her mouth.
Yeah. I also don't like how like Brianna didn't acknowledge at all like the effort that Grace has put into her career as well. Like, yes, okay, sure, Brie got her a job and like kicked off her career in the public eye or whatever, but it's one thing to like get someone started in that pathway, but it's another thing entirely to remain relevant in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, credit where it's due. Like, okay, you got where you are now through connection, but you stayed there because of your own effort and your own drive. Like,
but also imagine if I was moving to New York, right? Because I had this huge opportunity. It was kind of all lined up for me. And I convinced you. I was like,
it wouldn't take much.
Drop everything.
For New York, it wouldn't take much.
I was like, drop everything and you follow me. And then even if like she thought she was doing the right thing, I like integrated you into my workplace, did all of this, and then in 2 years' time, I was like, fuck you.
Yeah, we're done.
Like, Brie was talking about the fact that it had been made a decision that Plan Brie was going to end for a while now, and apparently Grace was aware of that. And then Brie has kind of been toying with these different ideas of, do I bring it back? Do I bring it back but with different hosts? All of this kind of stuff. And she made a comment on BFFs where she was like, I started Plan Brie 5 years ago, so it's up. I can do whatever the fuck I want with it. Like, it's none of Grace's business. Hang on a second. Yeah, you might have started it. Grace has been your co-host for years now.
Yeah.
And arguably made that show better. Give Grace some fucking respect.
Credit where it's due, yeah.
Like, it's not just Brie's podcast anymore. She made it their podcast. But as soon as, like, her and Grace disagree on something, it's, no, fuck you. You were just this, like, guest that I had, and it's my podcast.
And that's what's so narcissistic about it. Like, it's just pinning, essentially, the victim to be the bad guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
it's just ugly behavior.
Yeah, it really is. And it's just so upsetting that she can't look inward and see that. Like, to have that behavior be put onto you, and then to be like, you're a piece of shit for treating me the way that you are, and to then turn to the person that's been with you through all of it and then to do that behavior to her, like, that's clinically insane.
She doesn't see it.
No.
She thinks she is this martyr.
Yeah.
Who's like, I'm such a victim because of what I went through with Zach, and because of that I'm untouchable and I can do no wrong.
Yeah.
And that's not the case, because all she's done is do wrong.
Yeah.
And people are fucking sick of it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, yes, what she went through with Zach was fucking horrible, and you wouldn't wish that on anyone. But at the same time, she's coming across as a shit person.
Yeah. So I think that's it for them. I think they're done.
Fair enough. I hope Grace fucking thrives now.
Well, she's got her comedy career kicking off, and she's doing really, really well. I think she will come out with her own podcast of some sort. Like, Dave Portnoy was talking about the fact that they've been in discussions with Grace about her doing her own podcast. But I think whether it's with Barstool or whether it's by herself, I think she should.
I also think BFFs will flop the minute that Dave leaves.
Oh, I agree.
Who the fuck's going to tune into that?
Like, people are so sick of listening to Brie. And the way that she has been the headline for so long now, people are going to get sick of her talking about herself. So, and she's got nothing else to talk about.
It'll get to a point where she'll just start making shit up because she's got no new content.
She's been known to lie.
Yeah.
And also, going back to it as well, in some of the like final episodes of Plan Brie that have come out, there was one where she like brings up like there was like a story when Grace was young. It was essentially like a sexual assault story. And Brie weaponizes it against Grace on the podcast. Like, there's just little moments like that. And I'm like, and then you want to sit there and act like you're the good guy?
Yeah.
So gross. Anyway, yeah, I think BFFs will flop. Even if Brie brought back Plan Brie or another form of the podcast, I think people are kind of sick of her. And I think it would be really hard to come back from. And I'm like, I don't know where do you go from there? What do you do next?
That's for her to figure out. Therapy.
Yeah, tell me about it.
You'll have time off. Have some fucking therapy, please.
But then one of our absolute favorites, Brooke Averick, she's on a podcast called Brooke and Connor Make a Podcast with Connor Wood. She announced overnight that she's publishing her own book.
That's a fun time.
We love that. She's such a book girly as well. So the book's called Phoebe, Berman's Gonna Lose It. And it's like she posted this screenshot of like a Publishers Marketplace deal report on her Instagram where it says, podcaster, comedian and bookfluencer known by her online persona Lady Efron, Brooke Averick's Phoebe Berman's Gonna Lose It, pitched as a Gen Z Bridget Jones, where a woman with severe intimacy and relationship anxiety becomes determined to lose her virginity by her 30th birthday, which is 1 month away, catapulting her into a whirlwind of love triangles, cold sweats, and therapy appointments. I just can't wait to read it because I love Brooke.
Yeah.
Like, I really feel like she's going to put her whole... I think she's been writing this for like 4 years.
She's going to put a whole brussy into it.
She's putting a
Brudusi.
whole Brudusi into it. So we're absolutely reading it.
Yeah, we have to.
I'm going to hold a gun to your head. We're going to read.
Book club.
We're going to absolutely read it. Do you want to talk about what you've been reading recently before we jump into our top picks for the year? Or do you want to...
yeah, let me. You know what? No, I can talk about that when we talk about the books.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we have gone through and picked our top picks for the year, from the books we've read to the movies we've watched and the TV shows we've watched, all of it. Because what better time than now? Also,
Period.
when we haven't watched anything this week
Period.
because it's been busy. So let's start with TV shows. So my top TV shows for the year: The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Yes.
That kickstarted my obsession with the Mormons. And I am obsessed, and I cannot wait for season 2. We're going to touch legs.
That's fine. Is that comfortable for you?
It's fine.
Okay.
Absolutely obsessed with The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. That 5 out of 5.
Yep.
I think season 2 is going to be batshit crazy. And
Yep.
if you haven't watched it already, then you've lost your mind. I would love to see The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives get somehow picked up by the Bravo universe and like integrated into like Salt Lake City somehow. I don't know how. I'm going to leave that to the universe to figure out, but that's my thoughts. My second top pick, Baby Reindeer.
Yes.
Which I can't believe only came out this year. That feels like it came out 2 years ago.
Yeah. That's
Nuts.
insane.
Fucking fantastic TV show. Jaw-dropping. My other one, controversially, Fallout.
Yeah. No, that was really good. Yeah.
I loved
I'd agree
the
with you on
Fallout
that.
TV show.
Yeah.
And then, most obviously, Nobody Wants This. That
Yes.
is the creme de la
Yes.
creme of
Yeah.
content for 2024.
Yeah. Gold medal.
The way Adam Brody is just unreal. I am
Yeah.
now obsessed with Adam Brody. I still think about this show so much. And it, similarly to the way that Secret Lives of Mormon Wives made me obsessed with the Mormons, this made me obsessed with Jewish people.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed. I love it. Movies.
Yep.
So obviously Gladiator 2 has to go in
Yes.
there. Like the
Yes,
way
yes,
that
yes.
I still think about Gladiator 2.
I think I want to watch it again.
It was so good.
Yeah. I think.
Have you tried to watch number 1?
No, not yet. I haven't had time.
I have tried to watch number 1.
Yeah.
Mark said it's great, but I don't know. I think I like number 2 better.
I think you only like number 2 more because of the cast.
And it's like not grainy because it's filmed in the last century.
I will watch it. That's on my holiday to watch list.
And like the whole,
I can't stop yawning, guys.
the gods have chosen, and then they obsessed. Will and Harper.
Yeah.
That was a top one for me. I think besides Gladiator, this next one might actually be my favorite film of the year. Blink Twice.
Yeah.
That was
a good one.
yours were Monkey Man.
Yes.
I Saw the TV Glow.
Yep.
And Long Legs.
Yeah.
I love that 2 of those were watched on an airplane.
Yeah.
You went
And
this,
they were great. They were great.
You went, this is my ideal.
Dev Patel can absolutely do no wrong in my eyes. Love that man. Love that movie. I Saw the TV Glow. It was on my list because it just made me think.
Mm-hmm.
And I still think about that movie.
Yeah.
And like it was just done in such a unique way. And I didn't get it at first. Like if you listen to the episode, you would know. But so good. So good. A little hidden gem. And then Long Legs, I really liked that movie, but only after I sat with it for a bit. It was like Saltburn for me, where I was like, what the fuck did I just watch? And then it gave me a couple of days and I was like, you know what? Had a fun time.
You know what? Period.
That was pretty good.
Did you see Ariana say that Long Legs and the Devil... What's the Devil one that came out this year? You've seen it and you didn't like it.
What?
That horror movie.
Oh, Late Night with the Devil?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She said Long Legs and Late Night with the Devil were her 2 favourite horror movies of the year.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Okay.
Like Late Night with the Devil, I didn't not like it. I just, it was, it was what it was.
Yeah.
I want you to watch it so that I can get you, like, I can have your opinion on it.
Yeah, okay, maybe I'll watch it. And then favorite books of the year. I've only got 2.
I'm
One,
going to go through my fable while you do this.
my first one would be Middle of the Night by Riley Sager, because Riley just, no one writes.
He knows a thing or two about a thing or two.
Yeah, no one writes a thriller / horror book like Riley Sager. And his writing is just absolutely phenomenal. And I gave it 5 stars.
Mm-hmm.
My other pick was Blue Sisters by Coco Melors. And again, no one can write litfic like Coco Melors can. And that was phenomenal.
Yeah. I'm going through my fable at the moment, and I'm just looking at what I've given 4 stars or more. So we'll run through those. I can't believe I only read this year. Wild Place by Christian White.
Yeah.
Crazy. Good Material by Dolly Alderton. Look Closer, I gave 4 stars by David Ellis.
Mm-hmm.
Did you read Look Closer?
I don't think so.
Oh, it's good. We Used to Live Here by Marcus Klewer.
Yeah. That was. I haven't read it, but what you were telling me about
bananas.
sounded good. Yeah.
Blue Sisters, yeah, again by Coco Melors. This book won a Goodreads award, The God of the Woods by Liz Moore. I think it was like Thriller of the Year or something.
Oh, wow.
I only gave it a 3.
I was going to say, you weren't like raving about that one.
Notes on an Execution, I gave 4 stars. And then also The 7-Year Slip, I gave 4 stars, which is the book that I read this week by Ashley Poston.
And I want you to tell me all about it.
I loved this book. Like, everyone raves about it and says that it's such a good, like, rom-com-y sort of book. And strong agree. No notes.
For a girl that's not a romance girly.
Yeah, it was really, really good. I thought the characters, like, the conversation between the characters were believable and, like, really witty. I didn't hate the female lead, but again, she was very much like a bookish type.
Oh.
I think she was in publishing, I want to say. She works in a publishing house and she paints and shit. Yeah. Yeah. The male lead is like Ginger, very rogue.
Do you know what?
And he's a chef.
Do you know what Brooke always fucking says to me?
Yeah.
She's like, you're going to end up with a ginger. And I'm like, okay, that's a threat.
Pickle. Yeah, it's great. It lost a star for me because I'm too dumb to understand the time jump things.
Right.
So, like, Clementine's the main lead, female lead, and she inherits her aunt's apartment when she passes away. And one night she goes back up to it, and while she's growing up, her aunt's saying that the apartment's like a magical place. Like, things happen in the apartment that don't happen in other apartments. And Clementine's like, whatever, you're a wacko. And so one night she goes into her apartment and there's this strange man that's in her apartment.
Ew.
And he's got a note from her aunt to say that, like, she's allowing him to live in the apartment while she's off traveling for a couple of months. And she looks at the note and it's in her aunt's handwriting, but her aunt's passed away.
Oh.
And so she figures out that this guy is from 7 years ago in the past. And her aunt's not in the apartment because she's off traveling with Clementine overseas in Europe.
Oh.
Yeah. And so she tries to, like, leave the apartment to go back to the present day, but she keeps getting dragged back to this time. And anyway, she gets to know Ewan, the male lead. And then eventually she goes back to present time and it keeps jumping back to the past. So she keeps, like, bumping into Ewan. But it kind of ties in the invisible string theory. Have you heard of the invisible string theory?
Yeah, loosely, yeah.
Yeah. So, like, invisible string theory is like when you've got someone in your life that you might not even know is, like, really a part of your life. But the universe will always bring you back to one another because you're meant to kind of meet.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of tied into this book because there are different parts of Clementine's life where she's met Ewan before, but she hasn't realized that it's him.
Right, okay.
And there are people in her life that kind of tie in with Ewan's life, and it's just, like, crazy how they kind of were like 1 degree of like separation away from each other, but they just never knew it. And it's so good.
You haven't read One Last Stop, have you?
No.
So One Last Stop is by Casey McQuiston. And I read this a while ago now. I loved this book. Very similar, where you've got like a female lead and she meets this girl on the train. Like she lives in New York.
Oh, yes. I've seen the cover of this.
Yeah, she meets this girl on the train and she only ever encounters her on the train. And this girl's always on the train, always wearing the same thing kind of vibe. Anyway, it turns out that the girl on the train is like stuck on the train and she's like, but she's from the past kind of thing. Like she's kind of living in the past, and they fall in love, and it's all about how the main character's like trying to get her off the train so that they can like spend their life. I loved it. It was phenomenal. So yeah, I think these are very similar books.
Yeah, I think you'll really enjoy it. Like, again, it lost a star because I just couldn't understand the time jumps, and I was like, how is it that she didn't know in the past that was him, but she knows anyway.
Yeah.
My little pea brain could not comprehend it. But it also deals with other things, like it deals with grief, it deals with suicide, and like family relationships, and like relationships with friends when they're transitioning to a different stage in their life as well, and like work, like when what you want out of work when that changes, and like and sometimes I feel like when you have more than one like really main theme and there's all these little subplots, it can kind of feel forced. But this was really, really well done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Loved it. Smashed through it. So yeah, if you're after a new read, this would be a really good summer read, like a really good beach read.
Okay, I'm going to add it.
Fun.
I am going to read that.
A little bit sad, but it makes you feel good.
As soon as I finish Kingdom of Ash.
How's that going? I'm
so glad you asked. Girls, getting through the tandem read, it was all worth it.
Yeah. That's big.
I am simply addicted to Kingdom of Ash. I cannot put it down. I'm about 50% of the way through, which is a big deal when it's an 1,000-page
that's huge
1,000-page book.
You've already read 2 books, really.
I live, laugh, loving this book. So for me, I like keep sinking. For me, what I'm loving about it is after the book before the tandem read, the whole like main group, they kind of break off into 2 groups or 3 groups. And then in the tandem read, one book is about like one group and the other book is about the other group. Kingdom of Ash, they finally come back together. And like, well, they're not all together yet. There's still a couple of characters that are off on their own at this point, but majority of them are back together where I'm up to. And that moment, I was sobbing.
You're like, finally.
I was like, finally my people have been reunited. My favorite trope is female, they come together, they're mates. Mm-hmm. They're like soul bonded, but they either don't know it or they're fighting it, and they're like, it's a will they won't they kind of situation. And there's like 2 or 3 of those instances happening right now, and it's starting to like really ramp up, and I'm like,
give it to me.
yeah. So I'm loving that. Kingdom of Ash is very much, honestly, the whole fucking series builds you up for Kingdom of Ash, which is essentially just this one giant war. And I have never read a series with so many characters in my life. I feel like I've gone a little bit insane, but you kind of get used to it a little bit. And now they're all coming together. The war's starting to kick off, and I'm locked in.
Locked and loaded, baby.
I am locked in. This is such an easier and better read than the tandem read. And I feel like if you're stuck at the Throne of Glass tandem read, you have to push through. It is so worth it.
Yeah.
Getting through Tower of Dawn it sucked, but it is so worth it when you get to this point. And I'm just sobbing every 20 pages.
Love that.
I think it's because I'm just emotionally exhausted from the book.
You're done.
From the book as well. And then I feel like you would like it, but it's just such a commitment.
Yeah, there's so many books, dude.
Like, I don't know if if I hadn't read it already and I knew how much was in this series and how much I had to go through, I don't know if I would have sat down and read it. But I'm kind of glad that I have. I will say, and I feel like I've said this a couple of times now, but a lot of people read ACOTAR and then they'll read Throne of Glass as well. Most people say that they prefer Throne of Glass. I still prefer ACOTAR.
Really?
Yeah. The reason is, when I was reading ACOTAR, it's a much softer read in comparison. Like, it's easier to digest. But I was literally glued like this. My face was glued to the paper of the book because I could not get enough of Rysand and Feyre and like those characters. But it was the first time that I'd really been exposed to fantasy besides Fourth Wing. This, not so much glued to it, and it's way less like romance, way more politics, war, all of that, which people have always said, but they really mean it. It's a lot more politics and war, which is fine. You kind of get used to it. But I will say the female lead character of Throne of Glass is by far a much better character than Feyre.
Yeah, okay.
Much better character than Violet from Fourth Wing.
Yeah.
Like, Aelin would be my favorite fantasy lead character.
Yeah, right.
In like if all the books that I've read, because I feel like a lot of times in fantasy books and even non-fantasy books, female characters are made to be quite like, they're seemingly strong, but they're still like submissive and like a little bit quiet. And whereas Aelin is just the complete opposite end of the spectrum. She does not give a fuck. She like stands her own. She's not afraid of like other people, and she will talk shit. She's so smart. She's just everything that I would want in a female lead character. And like in ACOTAR, even though Feyre is the lead, Rysand is definitely like he's the dominant one. He's the lead. Whereas that doesn't happen in Throne of Glass. Even though Aelin's like surrounded by Fey males now, she's like, she wears the pants. There is not a question in doubt. And I don't know, it's just so much like, I think you would like that aspect of this book. So
will I get there though? Who knows? I'm still at 35%.
Maybe you need to audiobook it.
Yeah, maybe.
And then imagine trying to listen to all the names and all the place names.
I'd get so lost.
Yeah.
I'd get so lost.
They need to make it into like a TV show.
Yeah. Like, I'm sure I'll read it. I'm sure I will, but I can't go back to back to back with those books, I don't think.
I wonder if they're going to make it into a show. Who knows? But yeah, I'm obsessed. I can't wait to finish it. I'll probably go into a fucking coma after having read the whole series, but it's so worth it.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
That's what I had.
That's it.
That's it. What a short, sharp, shiny episode.
Was that really short?
Yeah, kind of.
I like that though.
The people will like it. It's what the people want.
Exactly. A little breather.
A little snapshot of the year.
Yeah.
So we'll have one more episode next week. And then we're going to take a break for a week. The week of the 30th. You ain't going to fucking hear from us. We're going to be on break, recharging.
Yep.
We're going to be reading books, watching things, getting our content bank back up. We're going to be planning for next year.
Yep.
Figuring out what the fuck we're doing. We're making moves. We're hustling next year. So we're going to be doing that. And then we'll come back in 2025. What's the first Monday of 2025? What is it? The 6th?
The 3rd. The
3rd? So you'll hear...
No, I'm lying, the 6th.
So you won't hear from us on the 30th, but you will hear from us on the 6th, which works out perfectly because most people return to work that week. So don't worry, guys. We'll be with you on your commutes back to work.
We got you covered.
We wouldn't do you dirty like that. What a big year.
Yeah, what a year. We'll talk about that more in next week's episode.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Banger. Alrighty, everyone.
Have a good week.
Have the best week. Stay away from the spiders and the mosquitoes.
Yeah.
And live, laugh, love.
Make good life choices. Love you. Bye.
Bye.